Hello, YouTube, teamaon.com, wherever you may have found us, however you may be watching us today. This is Nova of Team Aonn, and I have a subject to bring up to you today. So, recently the question of accountability came up, and not accountability for a person, but for companies. Specifically gaming companies. Now, being as old as I am, I got to live through and enjoy the early days of modern gaming. I got to see the scandals and the problems and the accountability regarding this. I am today making a statement about the accountability of gaming companies. This should come as no shock, but gaming companies, on a whole, do not give a fuck about you as an individual. No, I'm not kidding. They just don't care. An example of this: a number of years ago, I dealt with a company that runs or did run an MMORPG. Now, this company still exists, so they're going to remain nameless because I don't want to be hit up for slander or libel or whatever they want to try and hit me with for mentioning their name in a stupid fucking YouTube video that's probably only going to get a handful of views. I'd rather not put myself at risk, so they're going to remain nameless. So, a number of years ago, this company ran an MMORPG. And I was a player on said MMORPG. And I enjoyed it. I'd get in there, I'd run around, I'd put money on the game. A lot different from how I behave with online gaming nowadays. And there's good reason for that. So one day, there was a rollback for inventories. Now, this rollback could have been for several reasons: corruption of the database, duplication glitches, whatever. It doesn't matter what caused it. The fact of the matter is, there was a rollback for inventories. There was a rollback, and this rollback happened right after I put money on the game, spent that money in their cash shop, and earned some items from it. Now, we'll say it was around $100. The best item that I got was the brand new mount, and I got it from a gamble pack. Now, for those of you who don't know what a mount is, that is usually a beast or a vehicle that you can ride on to move faster throughout the game. So I pulled this mount. It was the best item in the pack that I got to pull. Now, mind you, there were better items in the pack, but that was the best one that I got to pull. And I spent about $100 on those packs. So, being happy, of course, I did the normal thing that I would do at that age. I took screenshots. Yeah, I needed to have my flair, have my memories of when I first pulled that mount because it was awesome. But they did the rollback, and I lost the mount. Now, again, the mount was brand new. It wasn't leveled up, had no boosts, nothing like that. But I was still extremely happy over pulling it. Now, at the time that it happened, I was a young and innocent and very gullible and stupid kid. I had the thought mentality of the customer was always right. So I reached out to the GMs of the game, and they did the right thing. They gave me back the mount. In fact, they even gave me an upgraded version of the mount, maxing it out. Nowadays, I will say nowadays, that is extraordinary. That is more than I could ever hope for, and they hooked me up. wow, thanks, you didn't have to give me back this mount at maximum level when I had only just pulled it, but you did, saving me the time to level it, allowing me to just get it at its max stats. But again, being the young idiot that I was and the customer is always right mentality, I asked for compensation, and I'm putting that in air quotes, for being without the item for a few days. And the GM said to me, listen, you got your mount back, and while I agree that you were without it for a couple days, and that's a pain, you still got it back. And we even maxed it out for you. And when I went to push the issue, they said, listen, Nova, a GM, according to the terms of service for our game, can ban you for any and no reason at any point. If we just decide to ban you, we can ban you. So please drop the issue. And it was at that point that I realized I'm not special. They don't give a fuck about customers and individuals, and they're sure as fuck ain't gonna go out of their way to make sure that you keep spending money on their game. And I did think about that, and that's how I came to realization that this is true. I'm not special. They don't care about their customers as an individual. They're not going to care if you keep spending money. So let's take Digimon Masters Online, who recently had a server merge that had issues. Now you can see that I'm on the game right now. Obviously, I'm still playing it, even though the merge happened and it messed things up. And yeah, people lost stuff, but they're doing their best to give people back their stuff. The GMs and the devs have done a hell of a job to resolve these issues, to get people back what they lost. You can see people are running around. I'm in Channel 4 right now. We'll jump to Channel 1 and show you how busy it is. So they have done a hell of a lot to make sure that everything is fixed for everybody to enjoy. Now, I have no doubt in my mind, after saying that not everything will be resolved. Not everything. There will be things that do not get resolved. People will be missing evolutions or items or ride abilities. People will miss something. Something will get missed. And the GMs and the community managers and the devs will put up their hands and say fuck it at that point, because they've done their best to recall everything, and people had plenty of time to reach out and complain that they lost these items. So it's going to be my prediction that they're going to let it taper off to a level where the complaints are minimal and just ignore them. And again, it's not going to matter to them if you want to moan and complain and threaten to leave. It's not going to matter to them if you're going to threaten to never buy anything from the cash shop again. They don't fucking care. They've got the money that you spent. And if you stop spending, you better believe that there are at least a dozen people that are considering replacing you and spending money. And it's just going to take that one little thing that they want to blow money on the game. And that's the fucking truth. How do I know that? Because I am one of those players. Because I went out and I put money on the game. I'm not the first person to put money on the game, and I'm not the first person to join the game. Therefore, I'm one of those players who probably replaced somebody else. And the truth can be, the same thing can be said as the truth about any other MMORPG. If it has pay to win aspects, if it has pay to look good aspects, you're not the first person to put money on the game in most cases. And you sure as hell aren't going to be the last. So, that said, what should you take away from my little rant here? Big companies don't care about the little guy overall. And if you're a big business, you're not going to give a fuck either. There, I've said my piece. Subject over with. I am done. This has been Nova of Team Aonn, reminding you to like, subscribe, comment. Visit us on teamaon.com and on every form of social media. We are everywhere. Have yourself a great rest of the day, and as always, enjoy your game. We'll see you next time, guys.